Good evening and welcome to Insider News. Tonight, how many people out there know what the Feast of Edo Poto is all about, its origin and the delicacy enjoyed during the festival? Please join us for answers to these questions and more after the hard news. My name is Maureen Stone Enujoke. An explosion caused by spillage from a tanker conveying premium motor spirits (PMS) at the Anambra roundabout Old Enugu Onitsha Expressway, Oka South local government area of the state yesterday resulted in multiple casualties and the destruction of property worth millions of naira. It was gathered that the 33,000-litre capacity tanker, which fell at a strategic portion of the road while negotiating through the roundabout, spilled its contents round the area and drew fire from a nearby suya vendor started around 8:30 p.m. Chibuzo Obidike was at the scene and now tells us more.
Governor Willie Obiano, on arrival at the scene of the incident, sympathized with the victims and promised to offset all hospital bills, assuring that the state government will do its very best in averting future occurrence, adding that the driver of the vehicle has been arrested and will face the full weight of the law. Governor Obiano, while appreciating the tireless efforts of the men of the State Fire Service, Federal Road Safety Corps, Nigerian Red Cross Society, the police, as well as the state citizenry, expressed gratitude for the response received and hinted that plans are ongoing to ensure that tankers do not ply the inner road that are full of commercial activities and maintain that accurate account of property will be taken for proactive measures.
I'm very sorry about the casualties that were recorded. I hear about 8 people were injured. We have taken them to the specialist hospital, and of course we are going to pay for the and we also look at the buildings around and take appropriate action. Going to consider other routes for tankers. They should not ply this way again with this kind of fuel. They are coming here because we have a lot of people living around here. You can imagine if God wasn't on our side, what could have happened? You know, there's a big church here, a lot of people living here, but God was on our side, and because we are alert, we were able to contain this fire. You know, so we thank God for what has happened this evening.
Giving a first-hand information on the incident, the Anambra State Sector Commander of the Federal Road Safety Corps, Mr. Andrew Kumapai, described the incidents as an unfortunate one, recording about 8 casualties, destruction of 8 vehicles and other residential buildings, and attributed it to the reckless attitude of the driver.
When the back of the tanker fell, just about 5 minutes later, the fire, came out as a result of the explosion that came out from the incident. And you can see the casualty, the extent of the damage here on the ground. And even the part of the fire service office were affected. About 2 vehicles were burned inside the office. If you go there, you see the extent of that damage. There's a need for them to be extra careful when they are driving those trucks. And moreover, those trucks are old. There's a need for them to ensure that those trucks maintain the minimum standard required. We are going to be having a stakeholder meeting with them because it's not getting to a higher level that we need to put a stop to it.
Some eyewitnesses at the scene, including Engineer Prosper Okafor, Mr. Paul Igwemma, and Onyemechi Okonkwo, thanked God for the level of casualties due to the populated nature of the area, wondered why Nigerians find it difficult to evacuate a scene of an accident, and called on government at all levels to create an alternative route for tankers as the increasing rates of tanker explosion have become worrisome.
These roads are very narrow, and government are advised to create routes, for vehicles like this. Lagos state government has succeeded in doing that. If Lagos can do it, Anambra can do it. Then the driver, he was trying to negotiate. You can see this is a roundabout, and you see how narrow it is, and this is a very long vehicle. So it fell.
Was behind me, getting to this junction. The way I saw the way he was coming down, I had to go by the side and park. Immediately, it was as if he was coming towards this area. He now jammed the roundabout. Immediately the tanker now fell down. As he was falling down, the fuel, I don't know what he was carrying, fell upon my motor. I was the person close to him. So what I did, I had to run away. The next thing, fire was coming out towards this fire service area. That is how I get my motor burnt.
I even for people who lost Rundowa here. Because of massive and no one you show you and because on your man wouldn't bomb on the no dear there. So state government would be workers in Yaka.
From Amobian in Oka South Local Government Area, Chibuzo Obidike, ABS News.
It was indeed Black Saturday last night, and we reached out to all the casualties and all the victims involved. The Anambra State Health Insurance Agency has called on the state citizenry to key into the legacy projects of Governor Obiano in the health sector to cater for all their health-related needs in the future. This was the central message delivered when the staff of the agency embarked on a sensitization walk to the state capital territory, Oka and Onitsha metropolis. Correspondent Chibuzo Obidike monitored the walk and filed this report.
The Health Insurance Agency, which was established through Anambra State Health Insurance Scheme Law of 2016, has a mandate to provide for all Anambra citizens quality health care services at a very low cost. While expressing delight with the testimonies received from the state residents, the Executive Secretary of the agency, Dr. Simeon Onyemechi, acknowledged the tremendous progress achieved so far and revealed that plans are in top gear to register millions of people before the end of the year into the scheme at a subsidized rate. Dr. Onyemechi noted that the agency, among other things, commenced registration for both civil servants and the public, which was made possible by Governor Willie Obiano, and made it clear that well-meaning citizens of the state have begun to register people in their localities because of its impact on society.
So it gladdens my heart to now see today that Ndi Anambra who have embraced the scheme have started testifying to the benefits of the scheme. So this goes without saying that yes, this is possible in Anambra. His Excellency, the Executive Governor, has this vision and we are keen into it, telling people that it is possible. It is happening already in our own time in our state. This is a legacy project that the governor does not play with. He is very committed, very passionate about ensuring that this scheme succeeds and he's been very supportive. All we are now asking for is the monies he has put into this scheme. People should come and key in.
Speaking at Onitsha Main Market, the Special Assistant to the Governor on Health Insurance and Pension Matters, Mr. Dozio Opalugu, pointed out that the work was to sensitize the people on the imperative of enrolling in the health insurance scheme, which is affordable. Mr. Opalugu explained that with a token of 1,000 naira monthly, with their approved network of hospitals, one can access the scheme and appreciated the laudable project by the state government, asking the citizenry to embrace it as health is wealth.
How this works is this: you make a payment of 1,000 naira a month. So when you tabulate that, it gives you 12,000 naira for the 12-month calendar year. So all you need to do is just walk out of the hospital after receiving treatment without paying any other amount again. The level of compliance has been very tremendous.
In Oka, Chibuzo Obidike, ABS News.
The State Sector Commander of the Federal Road Safety Corps has restated its commitment towards implementing strategic initiatives to further promote road safety across the state. Speaking in Oka, the new State Sector Commander, Mr. Andrew Kumapai, disclosed that the state recorded 6% decrease in road crashes between December 2018 and January 15 this year. Paul Ezoke has the details.
According to Mr. Kumapai, within the period, 17 road crashes were recorded involving 28 vehicles, in which 128 people were involved. He explained that 75 persons sustained injuries in the crashes, while 2 people died, noting that the achievements were due to commitment and hard work of the late Commander, Mr. Sunday Ajayi, and the personnel of the Corps, as well as effective collaboration with all stakeholders. The new commander said he will consolidate on remarkable achievements already on ground by, among other things, increasing visibility of the Corps in all parts of the state through expanding public enlightenment programs, enforcement of traffic rules and regulations, patrol operations, removal of obstructions, traffic control, and improved data generation.
Once again, commend all of you for the synergy that we are seeing between your agencies and the Federal Safety Corps. It's a notable effort on your part, because you are contributing your whole quota in ensuring that we have the same multiple environment in Anambra State. state, and you need to be commended for this. And again, like my staff officer says when he was introducing me, some of you are aware of the incidents that occurred last December, the death of the base lieutenant commander, I learned that he has a very wonderful relationship with the president, and has been working assiduously with all of you to ensure that all the programs for FRC are covered here in Anambra State.
On the coming general elections, he said the corps will work with other agencies to enforce restriction of movement and ensure hitch-free exercise. In Oka, Paul Ezoke, ABS News.
Voters have been charged to come out and exercise their civic responsibility on election days while voting with clear conscience, devoid of monetary inducement. They were also asked to guard their votes to bring about democratic dividends. This was the core message of the elite corps during their sensitization rally around Oka and environs. Correspondent Kenechukwu Chukwudi brings more details.
The Elite Community Initiative Corps is a non-governmental organization approved by INEC to be part of the 2019 election observers and through community efforts help in community development, security and crisis prevention. The sensitization outreach took the Elite Corps to major areas of Oka City like Nkwamenyi, Ikoka, Amobia, Unizik temporary sites, and host of other places, with flyers shared to the people and the message by the commandant of the corps, Mr. Bernard Okpara, centered on electorate's choice of candidates without any form of inducement, guarding their votes and reporting suspicious activities to appropriate security agencies.
So if you credible candidate,
some respondents who spoke to the ABS after some sports sensitization, Mr. Saikus Ani and Mr. Jacob Ene, showered praises on the Elite Corps for taking it upon themselves to go all out to inform and educate the people on their expectation during election, especially on the monster of vote buying, as all should vote according to their conscience.
Over greediness, I go over the make the real bed rights. I can't use your like I didn't interest in you don't know where because of foreign airway because of money on the truth. That's kind of but the do should come in the society should have that. We have to see now I'm an illegal election.
O nwere onye ga-apụta ebe a kweche oluo na-azị enyi ego ole vote le conscience ya dị ka mmadụ ịnọkọta etu a le vote le ya conscience the man was right isi mmadụ mee something ọ bụ na vote to the appropriate person onye vote the vote guide accordingly ọ bụ na onye vote you nwere right ijechi ya ị naghị ego wee tụnyere onye vote so onye nwere right ịrụ ọrụ na n'obodo.
In Oka, it's been Kenechukwu Chukwudi for ABS News.
And that's a wrap on the hard news. We shall be bringing to you Insider News in a short while. Stay tuned. This is Insider News. Welcome to Insider News. Every community in Anambra has a particular festival they are known for based on their acceptance, involvement, and level of participation in such festivals. And recently, Ukpo community in Dunukofia Council area celebrated the Feast of Edopoto, a festival that brings home all sons and daughters of the community. We shall be joining Ngozo Bileri of Insider News as she brings us the details of Opoto Ukpo 2019.
Crops or farm produce highly revered in Anambra State is the cocoyam. Just like the yam, Cocoyam serves different and many purposes in the making of meals for people in this part of the world. Cocoyam serves as a thickener for onubu and ora soups, a major reason why they are called ofede. On the other hand, cocoyam can be boiled and eaten just like yam, but it must be cooked for a very long time before it could be eaten like that. That is why eating cocoyam like ordinary yam comes as celebration in most communities. Recently, Ubo community in Dunukofia Council area celebrated the feast of Edo Poto. The significant thing with the celebration was that every community in Dunukofia local government area celebrates Opoto simultaneously, but Ubo and Umunachi communities celebrate Opoto as their major cultural festival. Focusing on Opoto festival in Ubo, Insider News visited Gogo Shrine, the deity on whose behalf Edo Opoto is being revered. Gogo is believed to be a female deity, corresponding with the story on the origin of Edo Opoto festival, as it is a festival when female farmers, who mostly specialize in planting and harvesting of cocoyams, with their husband's support, prepare Edo Poto mixed with special delicacy and serve to their guests in appreciation to God for a bountiful harvest. Gogo deity, as Insider News observed, was being fend for by a 9-year-old boy, Chukwujeku Okoye, popularly called Ezegogo. Insider News also met his guide, Chief Nwoye Oda.
So, Onya menani koshe ye maru onwe moya wona bi ekiri ana pe ugbe na mo moya wa ugbe no du ko ni ne de we bi ekiri mani ben na cho kango no doku ni ye bi ado ma ko ni ma bukade ati mo bi ro ye be wo na je pupo apunya na
Opoto Festival is a 3-day long activity that climaxed on Sunday, beginning with EPOCC by the youth, mostly very early in the morning. EPOCC by the youth gave way for the Mmong Festival, which featured in the evening of the final day. On that day, masquerades from various communities of the state arrived the Oye Market Square, Ubo, venue of the festival, and one after the other performed to the admiration of all. arrival of Ugonabo, a masquerade highly revered by the community, brought the 2019 Opoto Festival to an end.
Mama wo eveji maru ukpo jile amado nkofia. Obodo na abona emia adon nkofia. Umonna chinu ukpo every year. Ndebo mabeli ko abule ka mama ede umma ya na akọ. Mana mbeze be odo more than Chabotania, and I'm the highest. And I'm Sunday than Nemia. And look at Emequian, the Kotana culture and tradition. It's here, the can is. It's here, you know, guy, relatives and friends. Your bro, if I allow. Yes, we forgot him. But I can do not have a better like a facha. And then Lagos, Mandela no Guasa, Mandela on the chat. We could be a new Guliagu, and may have a Mawan apple. Mawan as an apple. If you get a not Pietali, we could be a night Pietali. No, yeah. One is a venture. Then H. Almost work out the climax. Manchai, Juma, one tackle, one come, and a clear. Mount is Janaba, a good is Janaba. Do what doesn't I be supper? Cavasso many of them. Do to watch a man the Badabia in Abia.
Lest I forget, no one is allowed to take shots of Ugonabo. It cannot be seen by any other masquerade. But because Insider News is an insider, I was obliged the privilege of getting the shot of Ugonabo. Chief George Okommadu is the chairman of Opoto Festival 2019 committee. Because people of the community hold Opoto in a high esteem, came home from the diaspora every year for the celebration.
Opoto we tradition ko menana. Deka gbogbo ndị obodo ọbụla nwere alụsị fa na-egwu na-echekwaba fa fọ ndị ọcha wee dị obodo. And kemgbe a anyị nwa wụkwa na ụmụazị nna anyị famili nna anyị famekwara ya anyị nwa mekwara oge nke anyị nya ka anyị na-enwekwa aṅụrị tata ụdị ihe dị etu a amarọ maka na omenala anyị omenala ndị Ugbo kwala omenala nke ndị Ugbo anyị na-akpọ ili Ọpọtọ ịna-anya ifu na ọtụtụ ihe dị iche iche na-eme ebe a ndị nọ obodo oyibo onwe ndị na-anatara Disemba na-asị na Ọpọtọ na ya anatalili ya Ọpọtọ ọbọsụ Ugbo ji agụ arụ Ugbo niile aka na anọ dị n'Ugbo ga-agbakọta wee fee alụsị nke anyị na-akpọ Ugwu wee sọpụrụ ya dịka nna nna anyị famili ya dịka ọ na-echekwaba anyị nna nna anyị fa anyị nwa belivukwa na o nwekwa ihe ọ na-eme n'ime ndụ anyị onye ka anyị nakọta tata dịka anyị mee ya dịka isi eme ya.
Opoto is very rich in culture and traditions and remains one, if not the most revered festival in Ukpo community. From Ukpo, in Dunkofia Council area, I am Ngozi Obileri for ABS Insider News.
Happy Edopoto to Ndukpo. Did I say this particular delicacy is my bestie? I love it anytime, any day. All right, remember that you can follow news and programs on ABS from any part of the world by logging onto our website, www.absradiotv.com. Like I said, www.facebook.com/ABS Radio Television. Follow us on Twitter and Instagram at ABS Radio TV. And with that, we conclude the news tonight. My name is Maureen Stone Enujoke. Thanks for watching. Good night.